Hello peeps, it's a funny story Friday time. So, sorry about the sheep in the background. I'm busy fixing my quad. The carburettor is blocked. It's just one of them months, something's breaking all the time for no reason. My Kawasaki Mule, the belt and the thing has gone in the gearbox, a big spring. And today I had a puncture in the digger in the rear wheel, a screw gone in the tyre. So it's just constant stuff breaking all the time for some bizarre reason, but there we are. So I thought we'd have a funny story. So let me try and get you so there's no light in this thing. Right, this was a time, I think it was roughly about 10 years ago, and I was working with my cousin and two other friends, and we were working up Scotland. And not on the timber, this was building. I was a labourer at the time. And because it was such a long way up there, we had to stay up there. And what happened really was the guy who we were working for down here, the building control stopped the job we were working on because a wall fell down on the gable end of this old building we were doing up, old house we were doing up. And basically they stopped the job. It wasn't our fault, it was just because it was so brittle, it fell down. And then they had to do planning all again. So anyway, very nice of this guy that was employing us at the time. He's a really nice guy. And he said, I've actually got a cottage up in Scotland that needs doing up. If you want the job, it's completely up to you to keep you in work until this is all sorted. You can go up there and do that. So it was a reasonably big sized cottage. It needed completely gutting out. And from scratch, really. You gut the inside completely, pull everything, walls, ceilings, everything down, plaster it all up, everything, replace everything. So boss asked us at the time, and we said, yeah, I don't mind. The guy was nice enough to offer us a job, and it was a bit quiet at the time, and my dad was still alive here then. So off we went. So four of us drove up to Scotland. And I can't actually remember the name of the place now. I'll tell you why I remember it, because John Aluma was playing rugby there. What's the name of the place? It's gone out of my head at the moment, and we saw John Aluma playing rugby. And I was quite amazed. He was not as tall as you think. He was a shorter guy than you think, but he was like this. So anyway, what happened, we were staying in these digs because we pulled all this cottage to bits and we were staying in this pub. And we'd been there a couple of days, I think. I can't remember offhand, but we were staying in this place. And you know you have sort of heard what I'm like. I'm a binge drinker, I'm pretty wild. Not these days so much, but I was pretty wild back then. And we come back from working on this property and we thought, oh, we'll have a drink. A boss used to like to have a couple of drinks and then he'd have a takeaway and go to sleep. We were staying in a local pub in this little town, and then there was another pub that we quite liked. We'd go for a drink there. I don't know what happened. It just, sometimes when you're in a pub and it just goes mad, and all of a sudden there's loads of people in there and you get into a crack of people. It was like that. And me and my cousin, the other two went back to the digs in this pub, and they said, you mind you'll be back in time because they're closing the door at 12 o'clock and you've got to be in by then. Yeah, of course we will be, no problem at all. Well, let's just say it went completely mental in there, and we was amongst it all, and we never had any trouble whatsoever. They loved us there, but me and my cousin were like a bunch of lunatics. Playing pool, dancing, getting on with everybody grand. Went to look at our watches at like 1 o'clock in the morning. So we looked at each other, oh my God, let's just wait till the pub's closed and let's go then anyway. So we waited till the pub closed. We went down to this back door of these digs where we were staying, which was a pub, a hotel. Tried the door, door was locked. Oh my God, what are we going to do? So, because we were well over half cut, my cousin decides now, oh, I'll climb up the fire escape, tap on the window, there's a light on up there. So I says, no, let's just wait here, just tap on the door, they'll come down, they'll be in a mood, don't worry about it. You know, we've been through this situation loads of times. No, he would have to. He climbed up this fire escape, and there was this metal, like, balcony there. And he walked along this balcony and tapped on this window. Then he comes down in a hurry. He said, that was the boss's window. He said he was, he was giving his missus one. And then my cousin tapped on the window. So I thought, oh my God, this is it. We're going to be chucked out. So we're waiting down there. Next thing, the landing light comes down. And this bloke opens it in his pajamas. He was in a hell of a mood. He started giving us a lecture. Right, I'm going to chuck you out of here, boys. This is no good. Who do you think you are, and this and that? And behind him was this big stairs that went up about 3 stories, a big wide stairs about 10 foot wide. And he was going for it. He said, you're going to get your stuff. You're going to get out of this place and all this and that. Remember, the other 2 mates and my one mate and the boss were already sleeping in the beds up there. So I went like this. I looked at my cousin. He looked at me, and we just ran straight past this guy. We ran straight up the stairs. I forget which room we were on. We ran up like absolute lunatics, straight past him, up these stairs, straight into our room, and barricaded the door and just stayed there. And this bloke wasn't sure what room we were staying in. So we just stayed in there quiet. Went to sleep that night, never thought nothing about it. Next morning, the boss and the other lad knocked on the door, and they came in. My cousin must let them in or whatever. And the boss comes to the door and he goes, I get on with him, Relish well, he's a good mate of mine. He was going down for breakfast at 7 o'clock. We were still like this. And he goes, what happened last night? Oh, well, nothing. I said, we got a bit drunk or so. He said, I bet you got us chucked out. And he was laughing. I said, oh. I never said anything. So the boss and this other lad went down for breakfast. Had no idea what had happened. About 10 minutes later, he comes back up. He said, what happened last night? He said, because we've been chucked out of here. This bloke went berserk down there. I said, you didn't really give us a chance to tell you what happened, but we had a bit of a misunderstanding. Misunderstanding? This guy said you run past him up the stairs and barricaded yourself into the room. But whatever, he said, we've been barred. We've been chucked out here and barred from this pub. We're not allowed to come back here ever again. So, what happened then, we moved to some other digs, and we stayed up there for about a month, got this all sorted. We ended up moving into the house, and we were building it then, but that was a memorable night. It was pretty wild, I got to say. What was so wild about it is that we met all these people we didn't know before up Scotland, me and my cousin, and we just got on with them instantly. It was like you were in your hometown. It went berserk. It was like they'd never seen anybody as wild as us ever. And they started to go as wild in this pub. We were playing pool for money, and oh my God. Then they started dancing, and when I start dancing, I'm like a bloody lunatic. So there we are. That's the Friday funny one. This was a long time ago, 10, 15 years ago. And am I proud of it? It was fun back then. We never hurt anybody. We just seemed to get ourselves into stupid situations. Who'd have thought you tapped on the window and he was there giving his wife a portion? That's what got him in a mood. So there we are. Please comment, rate and subscribe for more of Gaz's funny tales or just normal stuff. Ta-da.